Okay, hey Seminole Booster members, I'm Daryl Beach, and today we have a video chat with our head women's golf coach, Amy Bond, and this is part of our ongoing series where we're going to chat with head coaches every day and release these videos to you so you are up to date with what's going on with FSU athletics. Coach, obviously we're in a very unique situation surrounding this global health crisis, and campus is mostly shut down. Many of us are working remotely. Athletic facilities are closed. What is your assessment of this situation? How are you handling it? And just overall, how are you doing?
I think the good thing is we're all in this together. The bad thing is we don't know what to do. So I think as coaches, we're constantly trying to learn each day and figure out what's our next move. I think the most important part is to reassure our players, our families, even ourselves that everything's going to be okay. If we do the right thing and social distance and things like that, then hopefully this will settle down sooner than later. For me, I'm used to being at the golf course. I mean, we were actually supposed to be at Auburn's tournament right now. So for me, it's something new. I haven't spent this much time at home in a long, long time. So for me, I'm just trying to stay in touch with the girls. As of today, they're all home. And so tomorrow we start our first, quote, team meeting online with all of them, which is going to be unique, but they're super excited about it because they're used to being with each other. I'm used to seeing them every single day. So this is something new and unique for us. And so I think we're kind of, as we're flying by the seat of our pants, we're also learning a lot about each other in different ways than we would on the golf course. So for me, I'm doing great, but it's just something different and we got to get used to it.
Right. So you just mentioned you're going to start the video chat with your student athletes tomorrow. Where are they and when did they leave campus?
They're everywhere. So we have 7 players, 3 of which are here in the U.S., 2 are in South Carolina, 1's in Georgia. And then the other 4 are actually international. So we have 1 in Sweden. She flew home, actually got home today. We have 1 in Finland, got home today. 1 in Denmark who left on Sunday, and then 1 in England, and she also left on Sunday. So, sorry, she actually left on Friday. She bumped her flight up early. So for them, it's something different. We started our online classes on Monday, and some of them were already home. They did stay all of last week for spring break. We were just all trying to figure out what to do. Should we stay? Should we go? What should we do? And the more and more we thought about it, the more and more they thought about it. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, this is evolving every single day. So we felt like the best place for them right now would be to be home with their families and not, parents don't want to worry. And so if they have their child with them, then they know exactly where they are. So that's what we decided to do. And I'm good with it because our kids are resilient and they'll do their schoolwork and things like that, but we'll keep an eye on them from afar.
Now, how many of your student athletes had online classes before, and how has that transition been for them to now be all virtual?
We didn't have very many actually that were doing online classes. For the internationals, due to their student visas, they actually can't take but 1 online class a semester if they choose to do that.
Oh, wow.
The Americans can take a little bit more, but most of our kids prefer to be in class. So I'm actually anxious to see this week how that transition goes. And I think a lot of our professors are in the same boat. They're trying to learn how to do things online.
Exactly.
There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. But I think that we'll all adjust to it and they'll get into a good little rhythm to figure out, okay, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow to prepare for class? I think some of them are actually doing some of this Zoom meeting where they can see their professor, while other professors have chosen to just send the information. So again, it's a day-to-day change, I think, for them, but I think they'll adjust pretty well.
And you said you're going to have regular communication with them. What about, are they still going to keep in touch with their teammates?
Oh, yes. My group really enjoys each other. They do a lot of things together. Our freshman's celebrating her birthday today.
Oh.
I have no doubt that virtually they are all sending her messages, Instagramming, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the social media platforms that they can use. they are sending her a happy birthday. So I think, we're all used to it anyways, but to have a team that's so used to being together all the time, even though they're home, they're going to keep in contact with each other, which is good. And we're going to find ways for us to keep them in contact with each other. And I'm going to force them to be a little creative and send us videos from them at home and the ways they're adjusting. As coaches, we tend to teach them a lot, but we can also learn a lot from them. So I want to keep in touch just to figure out what they're doing, how they're, whether they're playing golf or they're not. The most important thing is that they're staying safe and staying healthy. So I want to see what creative ways they do things, because we're outside all the time. So if they're forced to be indoors, what are they doing? I guess there'll be a lot of Wii golf going on right now.
There you go. That was going to be my next question, is when your last team meeting before everybody left, how did you leave practice with them?
Actually, when we found out, we were on our way to Augusta for a tournament. And one of the things I told them that day, because they were reading it on social media before I was getting the information.
Wow.
And that sometimes is hard for coaches. How are we going to then put as positive of a spin on it as we can? And the most important thing for me was to let them know that we cared about them as people, and that our most important priority right now is to keep them safe and keep them healthy. So in our little world, our final meeting, which occurred last week, the thing I left them with was, wearing the garnet and gold is a privilege. And at this point, we've seen that at any moment it can be taken away. So let's appreciate everything we have each and every day. I told them to tell their loved ones that they love them, to take that extra moment to write a thank you note, do the little things that prove that there's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of negative stuff going on right now, but we need to find a way to put a positive spin on this so that we can come out stronger. And as athletes, they're all dealing with the same thing. There are no sports going on right now. And as a community, as a world, we're all dealing with the same thing. And we're all human beings. So if we can come together for the betterment of people, that's what we need to focus on. We need to do whatever we need to do to help others, help those less fortunate. So that's kind of how I left it, is as we're all disappointed, it's disappointing to work so hard and not be able to finish. But at the same time, us as humans is way more important and is such a bigger priority than athletics right now.
And how are you keeping up with Matt and Trey and just your colleagues and fellow coaches and FSU staff? I'm sure you communicate with them regularly anyway, but what does that look like now?
I used to be able to just walk down the hall and talk to them, or we would meet in person. But now we're doing conference calls. We're texting back and forth. I was working on our schedule for next year today. I sent a picture of what I have written down, what our options are, and I sent it to both Matt and Robert to say, hey guys, what do you think? Do you like this? Do you not? Which one do you want to plug in here? So we're communicating. We always communicate. We're just doing it a different way, but we're trying to meet as a staff a couple times a week just to go over recruiting. All we can do right now is recruit.
Right.
I put my suitcase away for the first time in like 5 years. It's actually away. So I think it's important that we stay in contact. We're lucky. We all kind of live in the same neighborhood. So I did walk the dog over to Matt's house the other day, and he was on one side of the fence, I was on the other. So Ducky invited me over to kind of walk by the house today. So we're trying to do all we can to kind of be safe, but also continue to work, because we're still trying to work. There are certain, there are players around the world that we've been recruiting who are scared, just as scared as we are. So we need to continue to assure these players and their families that, hey, everybody's stopped right now. There's no need to panic. We'll all be good. So it's been interesting, but I think we'll all learn from this and be better in the long run.
And what about administration? How are you communicating with administration, and what are they telling you, and what does that look like?
Phone calls, texts, emails, they're trying to keep us as up to date as they possibly can. We also get the university updates because we're all on the same email. So what we get from the university, we then may get a repeat from the athletic administration. But if it's not a repeat, they just try to keep us as informed as they possibly can, which again, all of us everything's changing every single day. But I placed a phone call this morning just to find out if I can start working on my schedule and do we need to make adjustments and things like that. And obviously it's hey, we're going to check on things, but who knows? We could be doing this through the summer. You know, you hope you don't do it through the football season, but I certainly think anything is a possibility right now. But our hope is that if everybody does what they're supposed to, we'll get back at it sooner than later.
So when this passes, whenever that time comes, what's next for this team?
I think the next thing is just to keep doing what we've been doing. You know, if they can get back on the golf course, get back on the golf course. But again, that's not a priority right now. It's the health and safety of them and their families. So whenever that time comes, it's all right, let's kick it back into gear. But in the meantime, they should be getting stronger mentally by reading books and makeshift workouts if they have to. I told them that, you know, a can of corn weighs enough where they could do some exercises with them. They can go outside and hold onto a tree and do pull-ups. You know, we've seen that throughout social media. So hopefully they're using this time to get better in other ways where maybe they can't do their sport, so that when the time comes, we can just kind of start back up. But when we start back up, the priority still got to be the health and safety of themselves and their families. So the goal is to see where that is. But hopefully we're all on the positive end of that, not the negative end.
Right. So have you had to implement any new structure for yourself personally, and even for your student athletes, just to try to maintain that normalcy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to having a routine. And that routine was ever evolving, but there were certain things I did. You know, I would work out at 6 o'clock in the morning, every morning, and go to the gym and do that. And then come home, walk the dog, and then start my day at work. Now I'm home, so I try to go for a run or do some form of exercise throughout the day. The dog is getting walked numerous times. Because again, golf coach used to being outside all the time. So you put me inside, I'm not really sure what to do. And I always have checklists. So I'm trying to do those checklists each and every day. I will tell you that some of my housing projects are getting done that I've pushed for 2 or 3 years. So I try to do my work first and then do one new house project a day. You know, and the other thing is we're constantly on the phone anyways, but I'm checking in with our players, our recruits, my family, my grandmothers, you know, things like that, just to make sure that, one, they're taken care of because they're not here in Tallahassee. And two, if they did need something, what can I convince my brothers to do to go help them? But I think, you know, you get used to it. You got to get creative with it. I mean, there are things I haven't done around here in a long time. And, you know, as much as I don't like being here, I like it, you know, because things are getting done, and I'm a person that likes to get things done. So the more I check off those to-do lists, the better I feel about it each day.
So what's something that you can share with our donors about your program or your team that they might not know, or about yourself or about your student athletes? Maybe a little insight or behind the scenes, or I don't know, something in general.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
All right. My team is a great group of girls who excel both athletically and academically. But at the same time, they're a group that likes to have fun. So they're kind of practical jokers. They like to scare people, like to make everything a competition, whether it be tying your shoes or, you know, playing golf. And that's a constant. And they're constantly wanting us as coaches to go along with them. And, you know, I mean, they made a bet one time, and I know you're not supposed to bet, but they said kind of, hey, if we win this tournament, they asked Matt to shave his beard into like a handlebar mustache. Well, we didn't really think they would win, and by golly, they surprised us and won the tournament. And so for 3 days, he had a handlebar mustache.
You have to send a picture of that so I can include that with this video, please.
I can try to do that. He may have burnt all the pictures.
Oh man, come on. There has to be one out there somewhere.
Yeah, I think I've probably got one on my phone.
Yes.
And then personally, and some may know this, some may not, but I actually have a twin brother, and he's 12 minutes younger, but yet we were born on different days. So I was born March 1st. He was born March 2nd. I was just before midnight. He was just after. Unfortunately, he chose the school down south, so he wore the orange and blue. But I will tell you that he is so supportive of Florida State women's golf that the boy will wear garnet gold.
There you go.
So, and my entire family graduated from Florida, so I have a little different affinity for that school. However, all of those Florida grads will wear the garnet and gold. So
that's true love. There you go.
It's true love. Blood's thicker than water.
That's right. That's right.
Appreciate that. But you know, for us, the donors mean so much to us, and they help us to perform every single day. You know, without them, I couldn't do what I do, and our players certainly wouldn't be here. So I know they're struggling as much as we are, not being able to watch sports. Some of them may not even be able to go to work and things like that. So my encouragement to them is just hang in there. You know, we're all a family. We're all dealing with the same stuff. And I look forward to the next time that we get the opportunity to see them at a sporting event, because I think Gold Knolls will mean a whole heck of a lot more.
There you go. Definitely. So real quick before we go, and I appreciate that message. I know they will too. But real quick, the last question. So you're at Publix. You can only have 3 items at checkout. What are you buying?
3 items. Okay. Wow. That is tough. Okay.
Your go-to items.
My go-to items. One is going to be chicken.
There you go. Like a Publix rotisserie chicken or
chicken in any form.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Love chicken. We'll eat chicken salad, an actual chicken with lettuce and salad, grilled chicken, pulled chicken, whatever. Chicken, I probably got to have, trying to be more healthy. So I'm only going to have water. So I might need to pick up some water. Although that's cheating because I can get that out of the faucet.
There you go.
So let's say, wow, this is hard. I'm going to say, even though I'm diabetic, I'm going to say a form of chocolate.
There you go. Okay.
You know, preferably white chocolate.
Okay.
Like the Reese's eggs, we're around Easter. So the peanut butter white chocolate eggs.
Okay. That's 2.
No judgment there. No judgment.
No, judgment-free zone.
Yep. And then, gosh, my last item has got to be an important item. And the only thing that's popping into my head is a dang avocado. So
big guacamole fan, huh?
Yeah. I guess we'll eat avocados in any form.
There you go.
With only having the 3 items, I guess I'm going to have to make turkey guacamole or chicken guacamole with some peanut butter eggs. But that's probably a pretty good mix for me.
That's awesome.
So.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to doing this again with you in a few weeks. We'll give another update to the folks at home, and thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Perfect. Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it. Take care.